Hello everybody, this is Clive5 and you are watching Most Embarrassing Replays. Thank you so much for joining me today on the show where you send me your embarrassing replays. I watch them, commentate them, and put them up online for everyone to see. And if you'd like to be on the show, please send your embarrassing replays to replays@poweroverwhelming.net and we'll get you on the show. Right now we're going to go ahead and get into the first match, so stay tuned. Hey everyone, Clive5 here, bringing you another most embarrassing replay. This is one of the other ones that I have yet to recast following sort of the disappearance of some of my old episodes. So I just absolutely had to recast this one because this game was absolutely magnificent. 3, 2, you're not seeing anything right now, but you're hearing things right now. That's because this is one of those icy jug maps where you can have a number of players elect to play a certain game and it will select them for you. So this particular matchup is between SCD Mystique, who I will be calling Mystique, the Lavender Zerg in the bottom left hand corner, versus WPS Canadian, the Red Protoss in the bottom right hand corner. The map is Shakura's Plateau, of course, as you all know. Now I should clarify that this is actually IC Jug, Shakura's Plateau. There's nothing different about the map geometry itself, or geography I could say, but like I said, those IC Jug maps, you can elect to play if you'd like, following each game. So there are 4 players in here actually, only Mystique and Canadian are actually playing. We do this sometimes following Most Embarrassing Replays. We get a number of people in there and you can chit-chat and place bets and all sorts of fun stuff. So definitely, if you don't catch the show live, try to make it a point to come watch live on Tuesdays at 9 o'clock Central, poweroverwhelming.net. We'd really love to have you. You can have fun on these IC Jug maps with us, or we also do a number of other things. We've been playing some Nexus Wars lately, and we've also been talking about doing some Nydus, which is the StarCraft 2 version of Dota, World of Warcraft, League of Legends. Let's see, what else is there? Heroes of New Earth. Steam's making a Dota 2. Blizzard's making Blizzard Dota to run on the StarCraft engine. So yeah, you've probably heard of the game. You just might not know that Nydus is the third-party version of Dota for SC2 at this point in time. So here we are seeing Mystique going for a spawning pool. Meanwhile, Canadians putting down that Forge Fast Expand. Glad to be seeing that again. I know I've basically said that every time I see a Forge Fast Expand. I'm glad to see it again reappearing in SC2. It's taken a while to figure it out for the metagame to develop and all sorts of things like that. You know, all that sort of yada yada stuff that casters like to talk about, metagame and all that garbage. But you know, there's some validity to that. I mean, it takes a while for players to figure out what strategies work and whatnot, and how to use certain strategies that they might have thought would have worked, like, you know, Forge Fast Expand. You think, hey, there's got to be a map on which that works. Well, there is, and one of those maps is Shakura's Plateau, and we're seeing it. It's a really, well, definitely against a early hatch on from Zerg. It's certainly a viable option. And it's not often that you see a Protoss start expanding before a Zerg player does, but that's what we're seeing here. And it's exciting to see. What can I say? Now, let's see. We did have that gas come up fairly early. I guess not early enough to go for speed research right away. Now, that's, I guess, a little bit interesting. The reason I say that is because Mystique went for a spawning pool first and then straight into a hatch, it looks like. Or relatively quickly into a hatch. Now, Mystique can kick my ass, so I'm not saying that I know better than she does, but against an opponent who's going for Forge Fast Expand, which she's scouted fairly early, it makes a lot more sense to get aggressive early, because you know that your opponent's not going to be able to have, I mean, just now that first Zealot was out. Meanwhile, Mystique could have had probably 6, 8, 10 Zerglings inside Canadian's base at this point. But like I said, Mystique can kick my ass, so maybe she has some justification for why she decided not to go for early aggression instead. Meanwhile, stockpiling quite a bit gas now. She could mutate to a layer, not really sure what she's going to go for now. Has quite a few minerals for this early in the game. So, really awaiting to see. Okay, we're going to see a layer. In the meantime, we see 2 more gateways going down. Core researching that warp gate tech. Nothing too exciting, and okay, so like I said, I just had to recast this game. It is phenomenal. Well, just kind of, I guess it's not phenomenal. It's just, it blows you away how it ends. Just, oh, such an amazing. And I know I don't like to cast games twice because now I know what's going to happen, and I don't want to give anything away. So I'll try to keep it as spoiler-free as possible. But let's just say that it's an unexpected finish. In the meantime, Mystique getting that creep spread early, has 2 queens down in front. I like that. 1 queen to do the spawn larva, and another queen to spread that creep. That's important to have that second queen to just work on the creep spread, so you can get multiple chains of those creep tumors out and about. Because when that first creep tumor dies, that leading creep tumor dies, when it's like halfway across the map, it's really hard to get that creep spread way out again. You have to bring your queens out, or just, you know, start creating the chain once again. It just takes a long time, so it's definitely worth it to have multiple queens just for creep spread. Mystique, by the way, also going for a 3rd very early, so deciding to switch gears quite early and go very heavy econ. Hydralis Den going down, by the way, as well as an evolution chamber. Mystique is leading in the harvester count by just a little bit, and once she gets that 3rd up, I can only assume that she's going to take quite a bit bigger lead. Well, duh. Twilight Council researching Blink and a robotics facility. So, just to note, Canadian will have to blow down a pylon here to release the troops from this base, I believe. Or can Immortals get through that gap? I don't think so. I think that's just a little bit too wide for Immortals, or a little bit too narrow. I don't recall. We'll have to watch and see. But for early game, it's good to have that block off, especially to prevent against Zerglings. And what are we seeing here? Supply blocked. That's a bummer. Look at all those probes stacked up in there, and 700, almost 800 probes, or minerals, probes stacked up in the bank. Yeah, 800 probes. Yeah, the other night I was watching Fusion play, and he had 120 probes. That was a fun game to watch. That was really off topic, but just made me think of it, having a lot of probes. Man, look at all those harvesters. 64 drones for Mystique. She's probably about capped out, not capped out, but probably towards the upper end of the number of drones you're going to want to have. Fusion disagrees with me on this, but I think roughly a 1/3 of your max supply in drones is about enough. And the reason that I was critiquing Fusion on having 120 probes is because his max army size was only like 80, 80 army units, 80 supply worth of army units. And that's not that that sizable of an army, especially when you're crashing, 200 armies against each other. If your opponent's army is larger and composed correctly, you're not going to come out ahead, obviously. So definitely just do be careful. Make sure you have enough econ to stay ahead of your opponent, but not so much that you actually damage your army. And also, wow, hey, Mystique going for a 4th, so we'll see how many harvesters she actually does get up to. Doesn't look like Canadians really putting on the moves here, even though Mystique is starting to produce some Hydralisks and wow, getting quite a sizable army fairly early on. Bigger than the Canadians at this point in time. Canadian sees it too, knows that he's going to be up against Hydralisks, but continues to produce these gateway units. What Canadian really needs to do is start producing Colossus. Hydralisks in SC2 are super strong against gateway units, so you need that Colossus, especially with thermal lances, to take care of those Hydralisks. or Templar Archives with Storm works as well, but a lot harder to micro, and really Storm, you know, not that sizable of an advantage versus Colossus. So I mean, if you're a macro whiz or a micro whiz and can land perfect Storm like Bisu or Stork, then by all means go for Templar Archives. But for the rest of us, Colossus will work just fine. And wow, that's a lot of Hydra. How many Hydra is that? 36. Wow, that's exciting. And yeah. Oh, we do have the Hydralisk range upgrade. Is that what it is? Range upgrade or is it speed upgrade? I forgot which one it is. In SC2 they had both, or sorry, in Brood War they had both. I just forget which which one is the relevant one in StarCraft 2. So wow, now it looks like Mystique is going to get ready to move out. Canadian's going to spot this moving out across the map with his selectively placed observer.
Research complete.
Maybe not. Oh, there's only 3 Hydralisks, he says. Nope, no, there are more. How many more? That's a lot of Hydralisks. Wow, okay, so now Canadian's going into panic mode, producing more Zealots. Zealots do, you know, they do okay against Hydralisks if they have speed, but you know, when you have a large ball of Hydralisks like that, it just takes so many. Ooh, good Storm, I'd say. And wow, these Templar are fairly well protected here on this ramp. Of course, that Overseer has some pretty good vision up that ledge, but some well-placed Storm can still do quite well. So, yeah, Canadian can handle it, it seems like. Mystique decides to back off from that engagement. Probably a good idea with the size of the army that Canadian has. That Storm was a lot more effective than I thought it would be. A few idle gateways. Wonder if Mystique will just barely be able to take out that gateway and open up that ramp for a little wider attack. Honestly, I think she wants to get the Zerglings inside, because upgraded Zerglings, once they get surrounds on Stalkers, do quite well. Stalkers, of course, they have blink though, so they can just hop out of the way of those Zerglings and, well, honestly, probably could just go straight into the Hydralisks. No, they'd get totally destroyed if they did that. Infestors being added into the mix, that's a good call too, because that fungal growth, super strong. If you are a Zerg player and you're not using fungal growth, you should be, because it is amazing. Mystique not engaging with all their armies, all of her army. Canadian actually blinking in, and that was indeed not the best idea. Zerglings charging in to do whatever damage they can. Those Stalkers, well, they're doing flag back, they're doing okay. But Hydralisks are doing better. Templar not using their Storm effectively. Not using their Storm enough. But wow, it does look like Canadian's going to be able to clean this up. However, taking a look at what Mystique has in the bank, well, 2,000 versus 2,000. I guess they're about even on that, but production-wise, Mystique's going to be able to stay ahead because she does have that much larger harvester count. Her income's a bit greater. She has up to 81 harvesters by now. So anyway, it looks like she's able to replenish those Hydralisks quite quickly. Canadian daringly blinking in to take out a Overlord that was providing some vision, not really doing a whole lot. Clever. That's a change. He's like, I'm normal. Mystique moving in again. Man, but the Stalker's up on this ledge, and without the Overseer to grant vision, not doing so great. Man, once again, great storms from Canadian, I have to say. And once again, getting cleaned up. Interesting. Nydus network right in the middle of nowhere. And the overlords, which were providing creep here, are now no longer. So this Nydus network will begin to deteriorate in health as long as the overlords don't stay here and continue providing creep for this area. Wow, that's a lot of roaches. Roaches are probably going to be able to do a lot better against the buildings, but really aren't going to do that great against the stalkers here. But with that Nydus network, hopefully Mystique will be able to drop something in the back of some of Canadian's base here. Looks like there's a little bit of vision available around in this area, perhaps. And yeah, I think that's going to be where it is. Why am I losing creep? Because your overlords were providing creep. So, man, I just... it's an interesting place for a Nydus network. So now, totally loaded up. Probably going to use this Overseer to lay down a Nydus canal. We'll see. And here it comes. The Nydus Canal moving in. Just out of vision from Canadian. However, Canadian starting to move out, finding the Nydus network with all of those roaches inside, just got destroyed. OMFG. Mystique's army just got totally destroyed. Totally destroyed. And now she's in a lot of trouble because basically no matter what, she can't replenish her troops fast enough. Even though she has the minerals, has 4 hatcheries, has queens pumping all those hatcheries with spawn larvae, but it's probably not going to be enough. Canadian moving in, taking out this additional hatch, going to take out the natural here. Basically totally unopposed here. Yowza. And what a way to go. Losing all those troops inside the Nydus Canal. That is unbelievable. Canadian trying everything she can, running in those Zerglings. Stalkers effectively blocking the ramp, not allowing the Zerglings to get a full surround. In the meantime, Canadian continuing to rip apart this base. Oof, Greater Spire just goes down like nothing else. And there goes Canadian's significant tech. Sure, she still has a hive in here and a Hydralisk den, but yikes, 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 yikes. Few Broodlords, that's not going to do a whole lot at this point, especially since those Stalkers have Blink. Mystique just trying to do anything she can. Broodlord's probably not the best for this map because there is so much open space. Not easy for them to escape from being hunted down, especially by Blink Stalkers. Just no map geometry at all to fly around and stay, just off the edge of stalkerable territory. There goes the hive. Soon to be followed by the Hydralisk den and basically everything else. Mystique desperately trying to throw down bases, but what she's really lacking is the tech. That's what she needs more of. She has an infestation pit, I should say. That might still be able to, well, contribute, but probably not save her. Man, she just really needs to liquidate these, well, I guess not liquidate these assets. She needs to unliquidate them, invest them in the form of army units that can do some damage. But now Canadian's troops starting to bear down on Mystique. This is basically the last standing army of Mystique. Again, Zerglings cannot get a surround. Hydralisks just too few, and they get stormed to death. Yikes. Those Hydralisks go down easily, and this game is going to be over, folks. It is just a matter of time. Can these few infestors do anything at all? Anything besides infesting these probes? Maybe. That could be fun. Let's see that. Yeah, go over here. That'd be fun. No more probes left in here, just a couple. Yeah, you can do infested Terrans, but still, I mean, what's the fun in that? Looks like the infested Terrans will be able to take down the Nexus, but then what? You know, this Nexus isn't being used. Full of Chrono Boost that could have been used, but isn't, so it just goes to show how irrelevant they actually are. That Nexus actually is. Not even focusing the pylons, they would be a lot more, you know, useful if they disabled all these gateways, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Trying to interfere with that probe line might be effective there. But again, focusing on this Nexus where there is no minerals. So long as Mystique can stay out of observer range, that's all she really needs. It's gonna be hard to do though. Canadian continuing on his rampage around the map, taking down all of Mystique's remaining bases. I'm gonna leave that one, I guess. Or not. There we go. So, just one hatchery left. Mystique gonna try to make the most of it. Here come the infestors to the last mining base of Canadian. Still, that's not what is gonna help really. I mean, she needs to take out the army. That's the tough part. Nice fungal on that. Almost able to take down those probes. Probes trying to surround the infestors, but they can just burrow, and they do. Might be able to put down another. Oof, really nice fungal growth there. One more takes all those probes out. Man, those are some epic kills on those infestors. That one had 22. That's a lot of kills. Rank Metamorph Pro. So, it looks like it might come down to sort of an elimination play. Canadian now has destroyed the final hatchery of Mystique. Sure, there are bunches and bunches and bunches of drones here burrowed, but what are they going to do, honestly? So many of them. Rebuilding anywhere they can. So many minerals still in the bank. So can these infestors come out on top? I guess they just need to keep, you know, destroying probes and throwing out infested Terrans. Actually, not a whole lot of minerals left from Canadian, so I guess if Canadian plays it right. Are there any observers left out on the map? Units, no observers. So, it's going to be a matter, I guess, of catching these infestors out in the open before Canadian's able to find and destroy the remaining hatcheries from Mystique. Looks like Canadians on to Mystique, going to find and destroy this hatchery. Just a quick move up before this next hatchery gets destroyed. Can this drone make it out of the way and put a hatchery somewhere? Nope. There are more drones over here. Is she going to try again? No, looks like Mystique
win.
Actually does GG that one. Or doesn't GG, but oh, there we go. I knew she's a little better mannered than that. Alright, what a fantastic game, I had to say. Man, all those troops in the Nydus network got destroyed. That had been, wow, that was like one of the first times I had ever seen that happen. And it never ceases to amaze just the sheer destruction that can happen if both your Nydus canal and your network go down. Man, just all the troops inside getting destroyed. So Something to look out for. Listen to Zerg players. Don't put your Nydus network way out in the open. Huh? Thank you very much to Mystique for sending me that insane replay. Just that one replay for this episode, so tune in next week. Once again, if you have a replay of your own, please send it to replays@poweroverwhelming.net. Would love to have you on the show. Catch you next time. Sorry about that. Totally lied. I guess I do have another replay for y'all. Found it in my commentated folder I had. I started to get wise after I started losing commentaries. Not necessarily losing them, but just not figuring out which ones I had and had not commentated or was missing videos for or whatever. So started to figure it out that I needed to start numbering them, and this one I numbered 1x for something, it was 10, 11, 12, something like that. And I ended up having 13 through 19, so I knew this had to be the part 2 of replay 12, not replay 12, episode 12. So finally starting to get things organized as I go along. It's difficult, having a YouTube show that you have to keep track of all the episodes for and whatnot. Anyway, enough talk. This is a matchup between Fusion and Rev Good Luck. Fusion, the red Protoss that I'm hovering over in the bottom left-hand corner, versus Rev Good Luck, the blue Terran in the bottom right-hand corner. And this map, which map is this again? Let's see, I actually have the Team Liquid page of all the maps up. And this is so unprofessional. I should have looked it up beforehand. But I didn't, and now I have something to do whilst the game is actually getting started. The 4-player map. Is this Tectonic Rift? Tectonic Rift? No, that is not it. Almost there. Lava Flow. Is that it? No, that's not it. That's an 8-player map. You know what? I don't know which map it is. Ooh, wait. Okay, I had to stop this. I am being ridiculous. I'm sorry. Nightmare? Is it Nightmare? No, it's not Nightmare. So, okay, I'm done. Honestly. Sorry, guys. Least professional replay ever. That's why they call it embarrassing replays, right? So you saw Fusion had a chance to zap away at that SCV. Of course, didn't do any serious damage, but it is an annoyance. Brings away another SCV from harvesting a few more minerals, and that SCV probably could have harvested 50 more minerals. That's an extra marine, people. An extra marine. So if you want to be really annoying and keep your opponent from building an extra marine, definitely harass their SCV producing a barracks. Anyway, bunker up in front. I actually like this base layout the best against Protoss. And I've said this before, against Protoss I never put critical buildings up in front anymore, just because the Stalkers have superior range. It's really difficult to take it down, and so you often see Protoss players doing exactly what Fusion is doing right now, bringing out that first Stalker just to peck away at whatever is at front. And when all that's at front is a bunker, it can't peck away at anything. It's forced to run away, just like that. Fusion quickly turning around, not losing anything more than just a little bit of shield, so that's a good reaction. Robotics facility going down, and it is scouted. So let's see exactly what... he sees a single gateway there, and the robotics facility going down. I'm not sure if he suspects any other gateways, if this is a 2-gate robo or not. Not sure if he scouted that this probe was out waiting to expand as well. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not Rev Good Luck starts to put on the pressure early on, now that he knows he has a little bit of a window. Especially with, I mean, this is kind of a ballsy move, I have to say, going a single gate robo into expand. Not only will you not be able to produce a whole lot of robo units that early on, but with only a single gateway. you're going to be forced to, you know, really shore up your defenses. This map, not the best for protecting your natural, especially with sentries. You can't really block this ramp that well. Wait a minute, is it this one you want to block? No, this one has the funky rocks. There, that's the one. No. Oh yeah, this is the one that has that weird back door thing. You know what? I am going to figure out what map this is. I think this is a Season 3, is it not? No. Yes! Yes, this is the one. Searing Crater! Thank you, Searing Crater. Okay, I also had Blizz's site open. Team Liquid, I'm disappointed. You don't have the most up-to-date map pool on your site. They're supposed to be like the authority. So now, Rev Good Luck moving in. He's gonna find this base totally unopposed. And it's gonna take... Ooh. Could have used that stim to maybe take out the Nexus, but wow. Really nice stim, well, nice micro against that. Immortal microing, trying to stay out of the way, and maybe just surviving, but man, those Marauders doing pretty well against it. And wow, overstimming, I would have to say, maybe not overstimming. Fusion only bringing off a couple of probes, probably a little bit too early. Man, those Marines are spent. Probably the single Stalker is going to be able to take care of it, honestly. So, Rev, Good Luck, nice early pressure, but not really actually ending up, you know, accomplishing a lot. Sure took down the first of Fusion's his forces, and now focusing with just that small army against the Nexus. I don't really recommend that. If he was going to try to make a big difference with the small number of units, he'd be better off coming up inside Fusion's base and trying to pick off whatever units, probes, whatever else he can, while his defenses are still weak. But it looks like he just wanted to try to keep Fusion off balance for as long as he could. Rev Good Luck actually going to go for an expansion now, so got a little taste of early aggression. Looks like he might be going for some drop play as well. Fusion is usually pretty good about spotting that sort of stuff, so we will see if that's effective. But in the meantime, going to try to get caught up in economy. Fusion just starting to send some probes to that natural. Not ahead in the harvester count, interestingly enough. Rev Good Luck way out producing in terms of harvesters. And once he gets that second base up and running, going to do rather well. So here we go. Fusion has an observer right on top of where that medevac is, so almost no doubt that he will be able to scout an incoming drop. 2 medevacs, in fact. Wow, almost perfectly timed SCV transfer. Would have been absolutely perfect had that command center been in the perfect spot as well. Oh, I wonder if Fusion had placed like a pylon there or something. I do remember that there was a probe there. So now Fusion actually looking pretty good in terms of his bases, his defenses at his natural. And here we go. Medevac starting to load up. Fusion, got to stay on top of that. Let's see if he is able to catch that. Yes, he did notice that and is warping in some stalkers just in the nick of time. Doesn't... Ooh, they are able to get through there. I was worried that those stalkers wouldn't be able to get through that little gateway gap there. And looks like Rev Good Luck's troops are going to be forced to drop out. Fusion swing around with the rest of his army. Let's see if he can catch that medevac off guard. Not off guard, but running. Looks like he is going to be able to dodge it. Fusion trying to intercept, doing whatever he can, and yikes, not a good spot. Wow, nice little map geometry there to give Fusion just an extra hand and catching that medevac. So Rev Good Luck losing some forces there, and Fusion, good job of following that dropship without following the dropship. You know what I mean? Really good timing on warping in those troops just in the nick of time. Not too early, not too late. And in the meantime, what are we seeing from Rev Good Luck? Wow, that is a lot of gateways. That's 8 gateways, folks. And let's see what sorts of... No upgrades. No engineering bay, in fact. this would be about the time that Fusion would start to go DTs as well. Too bad he isn't this time. Rev Good Luck looks like he's going to put down a third as well. And, well, going heavy infantry. Do we see Fusion going for Colossus? No, just going for a lot more gateway. And I don't see that robotics bay. That's going to be really important against Rev Good Luck's army because, man, he's going super infantry with all those gateways. I'm not actually sure if Fusion is scouted. No. So, granted he's got an observer here, so he can pretty much see what the composition is of Rev Good Luck's army. But still, wouldn't hurt him to see what is exactly going on in his base. Wow, that's a lot of reactors too. Taking a look at army, Fusion ahead just a little bit. Great scan right on top of everything Fusion has. Rev Good Luck looking to move out, I guess. What does he have in here? Filling up just one dropship. Looks like he might go for a distractionary drop. Always a recommended tactic, I would have to say. Fusion might get caught off guard by this because he's moving out his entire army to engage at the front, popping that Guardian Shield and throwing down a Force Field. And here comes Rev Good Luck's drop in the back of his base, trying to keep an eye on everything that's going on here, but actually it looks like Rev Good Luck did back off from the front. However, troops are still in his base, gonna catch this charge research before it is able to complete. Fusion does not cancel it, but I think you get the minerals back in SC2. That would have been a huge play in Brood War. I know, I'm living in the Brood War days still. So, Rev Good Luck now trying to stim and charge in, but to no avail. He's going to have to back off, repair. Still trying to fly around with that dropship, keep things interesting in the back of Fusion's base. Still has not produced that Robo Bay. Though throwing down way a lot more. Wow, a lot more gateways. 3 more gateways. Templar Archives researching Storm. And cloaking, that means we have ghosts out on the scene. Fusion going for a ninja expand in the 12 o'clock position too, so it looks like he's going to try to sneak some extra minerals. I guess maybe doesn't feel very comfortable about moving out to his natural third, I guess. I call that a natural third. What do you call it? When there's sort of a suggested third base. Wow, Rev Good Luck actually starting to look pretty fearsome. Not sure if he has any ghosts mixed in with this army yet, but he certainly has the academy. Researching personal cloaking, just about 2/3 down there. Going to be extremely difficult for Fusion to pick off those ghosts with feedback. Vikings look like they're just going to try to take a peek, but might get scared away by these cannons. Indeed they are. Fusion... Does he know? Yeah, he's got a observer right there. Now I'm hoping to see some epic storm, and there it is. Really nice storm. Almost taking down some troops, but nice reaction time from Rev Good Luck. If he runs away quick enough, he might be able to repair these troops. Usually I would see some feedback on these medevacs as well, but he may be out of energy or just morph those into Archons. I don't like the tendency to morph to Archons so immediately. I'm not sure if that was on purpose or not, but you know, unless you're getting destroyed out there and you just need those extra troops, I'd keep him as Templar because Storm is so much better. Now there are some ghosts out. Fusion needs to start being worried. Again, without those High Templar there, can't do the feedback, can't continue to storm the bulk of Rev Goodluck's army. Another ninja expand here in the almost 10, 11 o'clock position. Fusion, not quite sure whether or not he wants to move in. Hey, check that out. Zealot warping in the back of Rev Goodluck's base. Takes out the gas mining SCVs. Other than that, not too much. And honestly, just being on these 3 bases here, it looks like he's totally mined out of his main. Well, just started getting rolling on that 3rd. Now it looks like they're going to engage. Fusion looks like he got EMP'd bad. Man, all of his troops missing shields basically, and that's especially brutal against these Archons. So another reason why you don't want to morph your High Templar to Archons against a ghost-heavy Terran, because Archons just get destroyed without shields. They are all shields and no health. Well, they have like 10 health, but seriously, all shields, no health. Now Fusion in huge trouble. Look at the size of his army, so small, under 2,000 minerals worth of troops. There are a few more High Templar, but here comes some cloaked ghosts. They are sniping like madmen, trying to take out those High Templar and doing a great job of it. Nice force field there, but Rev Goodluck with that really nice stim, able to funnel through that force field. Man, now if those High Templar only had some Storm left, or had enough energy for Storm rather. Doesn't look like they're going to make it though, and Fusion can't keep these troops. It's like a flood of blue, blue troops. Yeah, really. Blue flood. Yep. Going with it. So that's it. Fusion GG's and leaves the game. Wow, so strong that EMP is, and it's really too bad that those High Templar were morphed. I'm not really sure if that was on purpose or not, but that might have cost Fusion the game there. Anyway, thank you to Fusion for sending me that replay. And that's it. Ooh, check out that nice explosion right there. That is so cool. Ooh, 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 ooh. Can I do that? How do I do the rotate thing? Nope. I don't know. Oh. I just rewound. Not sure how to do that. Oh well. Boom. Isn't that cool? Look at that. Alright, I'm easily amused. So there you have it. That's today's episode. Thanks for joining me on Most Embarrassing Replays. Catch you next week live Tuesdays at 8 o'clock Central on poweroverwhelming.net, or of course here on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/clive5. Thanks for watching, everyone.